Welcome to the How to Make a Tortoise tutorial. Today we're going to be making one of these little guys. To do so we're going to need a ball of fondant, a clementine, satsuma, orange or nachi, something to make a pattern, food colouring in the colour of your choice, a paintbrush, a palette knife, a toothpick and a little love. You can use fondant in colours such as these. They're pre-coloured and available at any store. I got mine from Tesco. But for the purpose of this tutorial I'm going to be using plain white. You'll need a clean, spacious working surface. And we're going to start with his feet. We need 4 individual bits of fondant. They'll need to be rolled into balls. They don't have to be exact balls, but it's just so that you can see how much you've used and what size they are relevant to each other. So there you are, you have your base of your turtle. Pick up a ball and you place it just on the edge of your hand, and then using the edge of your other hand you just shape it into a teardrop. It doesn't have to be exact. It's just going to be something for your shell to go over. As you can see, they're different heights, but it's not going to make a difference. Place them all together. Underneath you can see they look like feet. We set them just to one side. Next we're going to make the shell. So you're going to need slightly more fondant. You roll it into a ball. If you think that's big enough, then that's great. I'm going to shape it just the way I shaped the legs. And then, using my thumb, I'm going to create a hole in the bottom and just start shaping it like so. You can use the palm of your other hand just to squish in the top if it becomes too sharp. There we have our shell. If you'd like it to be flatter, then feel free to do so. You'll just need to squish and pan it out. You might want to make larger feet for that, but it's up to you. Next I'm going to take our pattern and create dents in the fondant. They don't have to be that deep and they don't have to be in any regular pattern, it's completely up to you. If at any point your fondant sticks to the table or to any work surface, use your palette knife and just gently scrape it off. You can also use icing sugar to make it more pliable, to make it non-sticky, and you can dust your hands in icing sugar as well. You can play around with ratios. If the feet look too small to you, then you can increase the size. If the shell looks too big, you can decrease the size. It's completely up to you. Next we're going to use a little bit of food colouring. And using our paintbrush, we're just going to brush it on. You can make it as dark as you like or as light as you like, it's up to you. And if you don't like the idea of the pattern, then just paint it on directly. You can see the difference. I will just recommend that if you want to put the pattern on later, it doesn't come out quite as nicely because the food colouring won't pick up the ridges, but that's completely up to you. Next we're going to make a neck. We're going to need a little bit more fondant. I'm going to roll it into a ball and then just squish it out. You can make it bigger or smaller, it's completely up to you. And don't worry too much if you get a bit of food colouring on it, it's not a problem. Just twist it at the end and underneath. You may want to do this before you put your shell on. Just lift it up, place it underneath and press it down. And voila! I like to use a clementine because the peel has a waxy texture and it won't stick to the tortoise. But if you want to use something else, then that's fine. Cling film will also work. You can cling film some fondant and create any size you want. But I find that clementines are perfect. Now you leave it to dry. I waited about 24 hours, but you don't have to wait as long. Just keep checking it. You'll see when it becomes a different texture, when it started to dry out, and it won't be as sticky. So enjoy!